everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report in Los Angeles, and I'm really excited to welcome Dylan, John, Emily, and Colin of DEK of Hearts from The Voice to this edition of
Hey,
Hillary's Happy Hour. Hey guys, how you doing today?
we're so good. Thanks for having us, Hillary.
Thank you, and congratulations on your mic drop from Coach Niall, and also on your amazing four-chair turn.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. It's been a surreal journey. We're really excited to chat with you about it.
Well, let's rewind to your blind audition of Heads Carolina, Tails California, when all four coaches pretty much immediately turned around for you and then praised you highly. So, after all that, how did you decide to go with Niall?
I think originally we had a game plan in mind of if we had the opportunity, if that one person turned, that we were going to go with him. But one thing I appreciate about our trio is I feel like we work super well together. So like we prayed before we went on, and we've been telling people we prayed for just one chair and one chair only. Because I was like, as long as we get on the show, and so the three extra, they were such a blessing. But I just remember after we got done, we kind of gathered together and took a second. And Emily said, "Hey, if you guys feel like you're like led to pick another coach, like you can tell me, and I trust you guys." And I think there was a lot of trust in that situation. But from the get-go, we were really hoping that we would get on Team Nile. I think because he worked with One Direction and was, I mean, in a group, and so I think he has a lot of experience. They've been at it for such a long time, and they just know how to work together. One thing that he told us was, like when you're in a group, sometimes whoever can sing the song best is who needs to lead, and that's just great, valuable information that I feel like we couldn't have gotten from anyone other but Niall.
Totally. And definitely, I think we saw all the articles about us being the biggest shock to America ever when we didn't pick Reba. But we knew from the jump that Reba was going to attract all of the best country contestants on the show, and she has, and she did, and so we knew going into the show that we would have to compete against our own team for a while, and we knew that we have the confidence that we could go up against just about anybody. But we would have loved to not go up against some of the best country acts, and so jumping onto Team Nile. We knew that we'd be going against some other genres, and honestly would be a little bit of a mix and a different kind of challenge than just singing another country song with another country contestant.
Very, very strategic. Interesting to hear. So, but let's talk about your battle with Jack Austin when you guys performed I Will Wait. It was so fantastic. But after you finished, how were you feeling as you waited for the decision to come down?
Yeah, we
Mm,
were very nervous, to be honest. There has not been a round that we have
mm,
done that we felt like we had it in the bag, to be honest.
mm-mm.
We were every round we are just as nervous as the last because you never know what they're gonna pick.
Mm-mm.
But especially with Jack being such a powerhouse vocalist, like and on stage he was electrifying. Like he had the audience attention, he knew how to dance, he was very engaging. And I felt like he really had some big moments. But I was glad that through that we didn't, as we worked with Jack, we tried to make it the best, like not duet, but group performance we could do with the two acts, not have the competitive mindset. So we really tried to make an arrangement that let Jack shine, but also let us show our strengths.
Totally.
And we did that, and we're so glad that it went the way it did.
Yeah, and I Will Wait was the perfect song for us because Mumford and Sons is made up of four people, and so there was definitely some thought that went into that. It definitely can seem a little bit unfair in moments like that for solo acts, but Jack stood his ground like no other, and obviously it paid off because he
Yeah.
got to jump into Team Buble.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to watch. But tell me about working with your mentors, Louis Capaldi and Joe Walsh.
Louis Capaldi is an icon. I walked in and like my knees got shaky. But I think what's so awesome about Louis Capaldi, honestly, and Joe Walsh, excuse me, is that both of them like know they're talented, but they're both so incredibly humble. I mean, Joe Walsh has been a legend for generations and to come and generations before us, and Louis Capaldi is newer, but they both were almost shocked by like our response to them as people. Lewis is a phenomenal songwriter, and I think Dylan probably takes a lot away from him as a songwriter. And Joe Walsh doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He's done the reps. He knows what it means to be a legend, and it was incredible to sing in front of them.
You said on the show, actually, when you were about to make your big coaching decision, you're a country pop trio. So I would love to hear more about your musical background and your influences and performing history.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up, music was kind of ran in our family in some capacity.
Yeah.
Like my dad, out of high school, he was in a quartet, and they did a lot of like Christian music and stuff and sang together. So I got to watch when I was little him practicing in the living room. Emily grew up singing in the church, and her parents, what was the group that your parents were a part of?
I got the name wrong last time, and I embarrassed myself. So they were just like a Southern Gospel like touring group, like just really small. And then we're like worship ministers in the church I grew up in. And then Colin grew up doing like bluegrass and stuff.
But I mean, yeah. So I think from early on, I think music was taken notice by like our family members, like, oh, like this person seems to be able to sing or play instruments. But we met in college. We went to Trevecca Nazarene University. We came in at different times, and the three of us got to serve on two separate worship teams. I got to travel with Emily's husband, and Emily and Colin got to travel together. But I feel like in school we had never set out to be a part of a trio or a band. I think different things brought us to Trevecca, but what really unified us was when Colin had a senior recital, and he asked Emily and I if we would do background vocals for that, and we got to sing "What If I Never Get Over You" by Lady A, which I think was a song that Colin kind of had in his back pocket and a song that he's loved for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I think after we got done, people just kept coming up to us, and they were encouraging us to maybe do music together. We decided to stay in Nashville, and it started us just playing in bars, and like even our name, DEK of Hearts, is after Dylan, Emily, and Colin. We used to load in our equipment and drive out of Trevecca on Hart Street. So I feel like there's like super fun callbacks, and it's DEK of Hearts is just, it's very us. And a lot of times people will say, I feel like you guys misspell it. It's DECK, right? We're like, no, it's intentional.
I love it, DEK. But there's a storied history of the very few trios that have ever been on The Voice, and the last one was a girl named Tom, and they won it all. So tell me if you guys were inspired by them, if you know them, but you're in a unique position being the trio.
Yes, we definitely, when we found out that we were going on the show, we studied every performance they've done. We studied every performance of every group. And, groups don't make it very far very often on the show. So we really wanted to study Girl Named Tom's, how they did it, because they won the whole thing. And I think our sound is very different than them. We are definitely more country pop than they are. But something that we so respect with them is that they are wonderful people, as we have been on The Voice, and I also got to meet them. Like, they are so genuine and so sweet, and you can't help but love them. And so that's what we hope to leave the legacy behind us as well.
Totally.
Yeah, and I feel like too, I want to add on, a lot of times people think that we're siblings, or their compliment will be, your guys' harmonies are like sibling harmonies. And we like to laugh because I was like, we've been together for a little less than 2 years, but a girl named Tom, they are siblings. So I think it was really cool just to watch and study to see how they blend, and for us to kind of listen and try to do that with what we do.
Totally.
Well, I love them, and you guys are fantastic. I cannot wait until your next performance. And I want to close out our happy hour by lifting a toast to you and your continued success on The Voice.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.